Hey everyone, and welcome back to our Color Pie Philosophy series. In these videos, we break down Magic the Gathering by color, talking about the strengths, weaknesses, motivations, and more of your favorite colors and color pairs. As a matter of fact, we've already released a number of videos discussing not only the colors individually, but the guilds of Azorius, Izzet, and Golgari as well. If you're interested in any of them, you can click the links on the screen or the first link in the description. With all that said, we're taking quite a big turn today. It's time to dig into the color pie philosophy of the red-black Rakdos. Yeah, this is not going to be pretty. So sit back and relax as we take you through a philosophical and psychological tour of the craziest guild out there. If you enjoyed the video and want more videos like these, be sure to hit that like button, helps out a lot. To truly understand Rakdos and everything that red-black represents, we have to first understand the motivations that bring them together. We'll begin with black. In the case of Rakdos, we're going to focus on Black's selfishness, specifically its parasitism. Make no mistake, Black is out to do one thing: make life better for Black. This single-minded selfishness defines everything that Black does. It leads to Black breaking rules, harming others both mentally and physically, while growing more paranoid and more power-hungry in the process. It's a slippery slope that feeds on itself. Because Black cares so much about itself, it couldn't possibly care any less about structure, society, social norms, anything. Social constructs only create roadblocks for Black as it searches for ultimate power, whatever that power may be. Going forward in this video, it's important to understand that the word power can mean a lot of different things. Maybe political power, or economic power, or social power, power to subjugate others. The word is subjective, but all you need to remember is that whatever Black deems powerful, that's what it wants, regardless of cost, leading to a fundamental issue with selfishness. The color literally couldn't care less about anyone. Pivoting to red, the two main attributes of its portion of the color pair are chaos and impulse. The red in Rakdos seems to be the epitome of both of these. Red cares about a lot, but it cares about a lot on its own terms. By this I mean that red lets its emotions run wild all the time. Restraint isn't something that comes naturally to the color, as emotional strength usually drives red to victory. At the core of red values lies freedom, emotional expression, and believe it or not, selfishness. But not in the same way that Black is selfish. Black is parasitic. Its selfishness feeds off of harming others. Red's selfishness is more structural than that, more primal almost. Let me put it this way. Let's say that your significant other were kidnapped by a Gruul tribe. Red is the color that will run in, alone, head first, without a plan, just to save its partner. But it isn't just the act that's selfish, it's the motivation behind it. Red is saving its partner because not having them around would be devastating. And while sure, Red can obviously and most of the time care about others, this combination of love and selfishness leads to emotional action rather than the best laid plans. This entire example is designed to portray red as an off-the-cuff color that doesn't care enough about structure, or the future, or any plan in general to take a second and breathe between stupid acts of impulse. Red can't help but act immediately if it deems it worthy. It's basically a compulsion. So where do these two colors meet? Well, they are an allied color pair, so it's not actually that difficult, at least not on the surface. On the surface, Black and Red get along swimmingly. They're both selfish. Believe it or not, that's the connection. Every connection that exists between these two colors exists because of that fundamental similarity. Black is selfish in that it desperately wants everything it wants and doesn't care how it gets it. Red is selfish in that it's too impulsive to care what other people think and will always follow its heart no matter the consequences. So when you combine two colors that are primarily selfish and don't think about others' feelings before their own, you get complete and utter chaos. The Rakdos are the most unpredictable, openly dangerous group of crazies you'll ever see. You literally never know what to expect because they don't even know what they're going to do. Take Red's impulsive nature and add Black's selfish blood rush for power, and you have a cocktail the likes of which Ravnica is better off without. Think about the Rakdos characters you know, the cards you've seen. Do any of them say anything besides, hey, you're dead. Don't care how I do it, but I'm getting power and you're super dead. It's a terrifying combination of Black's need for power and Red's desire for whatever it wants. The best way I can sum up what Rakdos represents is with this statement. Black is calculated. Black is always thinking about the absolute best way to gain power, and no matter what that is, Black will do that, but only after deciding that's the best course of action. Take that singular focus and add impatience. That's Rakdos. Now you tell me that isn't terrifying. And it's that last sentence, the last idea that we put forward, where we're going to find the structural and foundational break between the two colors. Everyone thinks that black and red get along really well on all levels, and that just isn't true. Believe it or not, the Rakdos relationship is actually quite deep and complicated. I know, it's surprising, right? Anyways, let's really think about what each color is about. Black doesn't just care about itself, it cares about itself at the expense of others, deliberately. The entire goal of the color is to do whatever it takes to gain power, and oftentimes that means changing the world, changing the rules, taking advantage of the established way of living, but more than any of that, it means taking its time, learning what the best move is, plotting out the course to the top. Black is smart, strategic, always planning. Makes it pretty obvious where their guild has issues now, right? Red doesn't give a crap about strategy, or planning, or preparation. It never has and it never will. The only time that red is ever organized or thinking ahead is when another color forces it to, and in this case that's what black is trying to do. While both of these colors believe in doing whatever you want, black needs more context. It has to have a reason to do something, no matter what that something is. Red doesn't need that. Red needs a tiny bit of emotional inspiration, and boom, action. So when we're looking at some key differences between the colors and in the guild itself, this is a big one. Of course, that doesn't hold a candle to the biggest issue, which is structural in nature. Black's ambition is endless, which means that not only does it want to get power, but it also wants to use that power to shape the world around it. It isn't enough to individually be strong. When you know you're the most powerful, the rest of the world should bend to your will, become how you want it to be. Red doesn't share this ambition, this end goal, and that's the biggest difference between the colors and ultimately why they will never be completely in sync. Black has dreams and goals and long-reaching motivations. Red doesn't have time to think about the future when the present is right here in the moment. It's short-sighted versus forethought, impulse versus paranoia in a way. Sure, red and black are allies and have a lot in common on the surface, but where it really matters, they couldn't be more different. So what does that mean for the guild? Where are its strengths and weaknesses? This one's pretty easy. Rakdos' strength comes from its brutality, recklessness, and ruthlessness. Regardless of how they feel deep down, they both hate the status quo. They don't believe in constraints of any kind to get whatever it is they want. The Rakdos are 100% full throttle all the time, one-track minded, tunnel-visioned on whatever they want. There isn't another guild with as much of a laser focus. Of course, this focus comes from emotional impulse mixed with severe amorality, but still, it is focus. You can see this in cards like Ashen Moor Gouger, which can literally just attack, or Augur Spree that sacrifices the body and mind for great power, anything to win, or even something like Malfagor, anything to win. There's no time to think about the consequences. Rakdos must attack forever. It's quite the dangerous color pair. Of course, Rakdos' strength is also its greatest weakness. The color can't seem to get its crap together. Chaos is the name of the game, and while Black would love to overpower Red long enough to create some solid plans, that's just not going to happen. The guild couldn't find its way out of a maze without blowing through the walls. And that's not to say that Rakdos is stupid, because it kind of isn't. It's just too impulsive to actually go through with the intelligent plan that Black thought up. In a way, I guess that is kind of stupid. You can decide whether or not Rakdos is stupid, but regardless, you understand where I'm coming from here. The guild has no forethought. So Reign of Gore hits everyone, Rakdos Augur Mage, your opponent discards one of your cards before you discard one of theirs, even the Unleash mechanic in general. You give away any hope of defending yourself for a boost in power. It's very act now, think never, pretty clear where the guild's weakness is. At the end of the day, Rakdos is a guild designed around chaos, and because of that, I think it's rather obvious that Red got the better end of the deal. Whenever a guild is formed, both colors can't bring in all of their attributes. Some are more powerful than others. In this case, Black's patience and sense of ambition were left by the wayside as Red simply grabbed onto the color's amorality and selfishness and just went to town. Black's raw power with Red's uncontrollable emotions, yeah, fun times ahead. No idea how Ravnica is even still standing. It's unbelievable. So what do you think about Rakdos? Is this what you expected out of the guild? Does its motivations match up with what you thought? I'd love to hear what you think about the Red-Black Guild. Very interested to read your own interpretations. Also, let me know in the comments which guild you'd like to see next. If you see someone name a guild that you want, be sure to like their comment or reply to them. It'll help us see what you want. I do hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. This video is brought to you in part by TCGplayer.com. The Rakdos are crazy insane without any real plans, but you know what? You don't have to be like that. Want a box of the newest standard set, Ether Revolt? You can get boxes right now for a cool $89 each. Cheaper than anywhere else I know, that's for sure. Not your thing? How about thinking super far ahead? Pre-orders for Modern Masters 2017 have begun, and at $183 each. These boxes are cheaper than any Master set during pre-order ever. If that's your thing and you want to help the channel, click the links on your screen. Win-win, enjoy.